Which company won 2013? Sony, Nintendo, or Microsoft? Welcome back to the review space, and today I'm going to compare which gaming company out of the big three took 2013. Which one is overall the winner? Alright, let's take a look at sales. Alright, according to VG charts, for the next-gen systems, the Wii U is currently at 4.5 million with a strong 51.6% market share. So they have over half of the percentage out of the entire next-gen systems. Xbox One has about 21.1%, while PS4 is at around 27.3%. And Xbox One and PS4 are relatively close to each other, but the Wii U still has a 4.5 million, and they're technically still in the lead. Last generation systems, PS3 ultimately outsold the 360 by 81.2 million compared to 80 million of the 360, but the percentage is actually really close. It's 31% for the PS3 market share versus the 360's 30.6. Although the Wii remained on top out of all the last-gen systems with 100.4 million and around 38.4% in the 7th generation home console market. However, it's important to note that the Wii itself sold very little compared to its peak years over the course of 2013. The Wii sales grew only about 1% since the end of 2012. In handheld, the 3DS sold 39.6 million and has a market share of around 85.6%, completely dominating the PS Vita's market share, only about 14.4% with the Vita. Vita has about 6.7 million sales. If you even want to get into it, the DS, the original DS, along with its other models, has about 153.7 million, while the PSP is around 80.4 million. So yes, technically as of right now, the PlayStation Portable in all its models has outsold the 360. Pretty crazy. The winner as far as sales would easily go to Nintendo. So Nintendo takes the sales aspect. Alright, let's go with reputation. Fan perception and the public perception is really key in this industry, in the gaming business, when it comes to consumer choice and how this affects sales. Alright, for example, the PlayStation 4, they held their event in February earlier this year, but never really showed the console itself, which was the biggest criticism regarding that event. Microsoft, on the other hand, had their Xbox One reveal event in May. They did show the console, but they kind of embarrassed themselves in a big way by announcing that they're going to have all kinds of limitations and restrictions regarding the used games. And they gotta have the 24-hour logins, and that just irked a lot of the fan base. E3 2013 came in, and Sony just absolutely destroyed the XBO along with the subsequent ad campaign that they showed. They completely own Microsoft's used policies and restrictions. Nintendo, on the other hand, did not have a big E3 event. Instead, they kind of just played the background. They had these smaller venues and events throughout the first, two-thirds of 2013. They were pretty much quiet about everything. They had a constant reputation of not having really any games on the Wii U. No big releases. They even apologized for lacking software throughout the year. The PS Vita itself kept a really low profile with very little sales as well, and not really a lot of games. The 3DS is perceived to have much higher sales because of its large following and the big DS fanbase that carried over. They also released a 2DS, which kind of made people think, not a big deal, the 2DS, not really something that most people want to get, but it is an option, and they removed the 3D function, which might be a sign of things to come regarding the 3D feature. So Sony built up a huge buzz regarding the PS4 in 2013, and were even leading 2-1 in pre-orders against the Xbox One. So that shows you how much people wanted the PS4 more than the XBO. But after the release and post-release, a small percentage of hardware issues and failure rates on both systems affected the fan perception again on both sides. Nintendo regaining some fans and some hype because all of these failure rates, and they drew attention on the Wii U again because of its perceived reliability, and the upcoming games, less failure rates, and so on and so forth. The winner overall in terms of fan perception would definitely have to go to Sony. They had a big buzz with the PS4. They completely embarrassed Microsoft, and this really led to just about every successful thing they were able to achieve with the PS3, particularly outselling the Xbox 360, and ultimately the PS4 still outselling the Xbox One, even if just by a small margin. Games. This is probably the most important thing. Well, it is the most important thing. Which one had the best library of titles this year? Alright, starting off with the PS3, we had Grand Theft Auto 5, which has a strong 97 on Metacritic. Actually, The Last of Us has a 95, Bioshock Infinite has a 94, Metal Gear Solid Legacy Collection has a 93, and Rayman Legends has 91. These are the highest rated Metascore games for the PS3 this year. The 360, on the other hand, has a few titles as well. It's more of the same. GTA 5 at 98, Bioshock Infinite at 93, and Rayman Legends at 90. 3DS has a couple of games in the 90s, Fire Emblem Awakening and Link Between Worlds. Wii U actually did pretty well, I mean, considering everything. Mario 3D World, 93, Rayman Legends, Wind Waker HD, and Skylanders Swap Force even got a 92. So very strong games in the 90s, although some of these, obviously their Metascore, the user score will be a little bit different. For the PS4, only one game got over 90, which is Flower, an old game, has a 91. On the Vita, Limbo, another old game, has an 89, and failed to reach any game over 90 this particular year. Not a good year for the Vita. And Xbox One has no 90 either. Nothing in 90s. FIFA 14, 88. That's the highest. And overall, the winner would have to be the PS3 as far as the gaming aspect of it. It's the system with the best games, the highest rated games, and if I had to pick overall the winner between all the entire thing, Sony, Nintendo, or Microsoft, the winner would have to be Sony. They were able to outsell the Xbox One. They were able to outsell the 360, their main competition. And even though Nintendo is still the highest selling out of all the generations, Sony is doing really well, and the quality of their games, the reception. So the best company, or I would say the winner, would have to be Sony, and the best system of 2013 would be the PS3. Yes, the PlayStation 3, the last gen, 7th generation. This is the winner of 2013. Besides everything else, beyond all the next gen systems, the Wii U, everything, PS3 is the way to go. It is the best system of the year for more bang for your buck. The cheapest price, the most affordable system. It's very affordable at this day and age as far as the quality, the library, the amount of titles available on it, the controller, the features, the media capabilities, movie playback, everything. PS3 is the way to go. This is probably the final hurrah, great year of the PS3. It's kind of like in 2006 when the PS2 was still like the most dominant system as far as overall quality. It takes me back to that time, like 7+ years ago when PS2 was still on top. More value, more bang for your buck. It's the best value for your money right now as far as gaming is concerned. It has the fewest failure rates, you know, compared to like the 360's Red Ring of Death and all that. It did really well. I think the PS3 is still kicking ass. That's the one to get. You know, it's got all the games, the multi-plats, everything. Fighting games, shooters, RPGs, fucking action games. I mean, that's the one to get. And it's the winner of 2013.